Hello, my name's Laura Taylor and I'm going to do some poetry for you today. And I'm going to start with one that I wrote when I just turned 50 years old, at which point, apart from a small lurch of existential dread, I was delighted to discover that I was actually happier now, more sane, sorted and stable than I've ever been in my entire life. So that was nice. And you could almost say that I'm in my prime. But I'm not exactly Miss Jean Brodie. I'm in my prime. I swapped my firm and tight-fit skin for confidence and knowledge that within this ageing frame lies a body of experience, a warrior of thought who brings her wisdom to the table, leaves her ego at the door, and won't descend to bitter ends. I'm not exactly Miss Jean Brodie. I'm in my prime, and looking back at how it felt to live within that seamless pelt, behind the eyes of yesterday, unsure, unscathed but insecure, prey for wanton predators with mealy-mouthed hypocrisy and practiced double standards, belching semen-tinted nonsense and sullying equality with privilege unearned. I'm in my prime, and do I wish to have that time again? Well, I kinda miss the face I thought would always look that way, and the diamonds lost in breath of men, blind to prisms within. But I don't miss raw, and I don't miss bruised, and I don't miss fucked up and confused, endlessly explaining why I thought we were just friends. I'm being taken anyway. I'm in my prime, and though the drops of poison drip from lips unused to lowliness, tarnishing a time of life their mothers and their daughters and their sisters, wives and girlfriends' journey, demonising dried up bitches, mutton dressed as lamb. I piss on that audacity and poverty of thought. I'll never be exactly Miss Jean Brodie. Cheers. Right, next one is about a very famous couple who, at the start of this year, decided to eschew a parasitical role in life in favour of a more independent lifestyle, shall we say. And this is the conversation that I imagine them having. We'll be okay. We've got plenty of experience. You could be a cabbie. I'm sure you could handle cleaning vomit off upholstery. Leery lads on Friday night. Gobby girls smoking in the back. We don't need their help, Harry. Bollocks to your nan. You could learn the lingo. I could teach you cockney. We don't need their money after all. We'll manage. Our marriage will be stronger when we're poor. I'll return to acting or celebrity, whatever. Big Brother, Strictly, The Voice, the list is endless. We'll be reet. Did you hear me, Harry? We'll be reet. Perhaps I'll get a role on Coronation Street. I've clearly mastered dialect. We don't need their privilege. We'll manage. Our marriage will be stronger when we're skint. I could be a dinner lady dishing up spuds. I'd look pretty good in a tabard, don't you think? Gingham really suits me. You could do sales. I could see you in a suit. Your la-di-da accent would go down a real treat. Beamers only, of course. Or maybe Rovers. Landies, like your granddad likes to crash on the estate. We'll manage. Our marriage will be stronger when we're skint. I could deal down the park. I'm sharky when I want to be. I'll undercut the youth or loose underclass, keep a blade in my bag. Offer top-class buds, bit of pollen, Moroccan, balloons for the loons, 50p a go. Others Tesco, Aldi. As long as we agree to work 24/7, 365, we'll be fine. Our marriage will be stronger on the breadline. You could wash cars at the garage of a Sunday. I might fancy you more, bit of rough with your chamois. And if we're really poor, well, we could even draw dole or whatever it's called. Free money, my love, no different than before. We'll be fine. We'll manage. We can't afford a carriage, but our marriage will be stronger when we're poor, I'm sure. Common people do it after all. Cheers. Okay. Moving on to another topical poem. I wrote this one about 2 weeks into lockdown when it's safe to say feeling a fair bit of anxiety, like most folk, to be honest. We fucked in the morning, before dawn's light choked desire with uncertainty. And the bees didn't know and the birds didn't care, the economy's collapse was hanging in the air, but we were frozen. Libidos crashed as society smashed against the ground, and just as the spring woke land and lamb and bright sun rose on magnolia's bloom, butterflies dusty rouse. Boom went bust, jobs got lost, futures broken, national legs and lungs closed down. We extracted empty promises of ongoing hours from bosses facing losses on their capital gains. Observed that poverty, profit and policy never made love, though slept in the same wet bed. But tenderness wrought some comfort when we fucked in the morning, before dawn's light choked desire with uncertainty. With arms and legs wrapped tight round love, we kissed the lips of fear and fate, made a nest for us to hide and hunker down to safety. Cheers. Right, moving on. This next one is very much a pre-lockdown poem. This is dedicated to all of those people who take their iPads and phones to gigs and festivals and ruin it for the rest of us. This is a little bit of advice for free. Do you remember watching Motorhead in Bingley Hall in Stafford? The time that fella's ears bled, Lemmy's warts, the wall of sound, and filthy going mad. Do you remember where we stood that night? And how that fella, 6'3", came and stood in front of me, so we just moved a step along and simply carried on. At every single gig for years, a giant stood in front of me, and usually he'd introduce the contents of his arse to me, silently. 15 pints of Guinness and a King Brawn biryani. And then, of course, I'd always stand in preordained desire paths where every single punter would have to walk right into me on the way to have a piss or get another pint. Didn't matter where I stood, I was always in that line. But the last gig that I went to, There's a fella stood in front of me, and he wasn't very tall at all. In fact, he was about 5'3". But in his tiny fist he clutched a Samsung fucking Galaxy S9. He held it high, he held it long, his phone recorded every song. He didn't watch the gig with eyes, his lust for life was minimised. He didn't mosh, he didn't dance, he didn't even sing. And now at every single gig, there's hundreds of him, just like him, obliterating lines of sight with smart-arsing technology. When they wend their way back home and watch a live gig on their phone and wonder why it sounds so shit, I hope they will remember the advice I gave for free, which is, put your fucking phone away, mate. Put it in your pocket. Put your fucking phone away before I fucking break it. Put your fucking phone away, mate. Put it in your pocket. Keep it safe within your kit before I fucking lob it. Oh, it makes me angry. Thank you very much. Never stand next to me at a gig doing that. I will ruin it for you. Moving on. God, zen, be zen. Right, this this next poem is about missing someone or something so much that it physically hurts. And this is called Darling Dancers. I thought of you in bed last night, remembering your soft brown skin, the times we had, impressions of your absence ever gentle on my mind. I tumbled back to trampled paths and BPM at sunrise, techno nights and dancing on the weathered land in daylight, singing love songs in the mud and lit by lightning. We were stormproof, leathered, no one stopped us, nothing mattered when we gathered on the hills and in the valleys, all in parties, back to mine for dapple come-downs, fragments of a breakfast dressed for comfort. I never named you. I didn't need to. Not at first. You were there and I was in you, walking harmony, waxing with delight in silent company, recalling country lines of how we fit together walking. Glenn was right. Do you remember? I think we did too much, too hard, too fast, and even though I know, 'cause Leonard told me that light comes in through cracks, I couldn't fix you. I kept hold of you too long. You were gone, but I refused to see the damage that we'd done underfoot, underground. I thought that faith could make you dance again. Ferocity of want would resurrect your diamond eyes and lace desire into every hole and tongue. But your soul was unredeemable, in disrepair, decayed. I thought of you in bed last night, wishing I was in you, remembering your soft brown skin. I'll never have that love again. Steel-capped toes and cats are no replacement for my waxy brown and broken down, beautiful old boots. My darling dancers. Cheers. Got ya. Right then, coming up to my last poem now. Thanks very much for listening. In the words of a band whose name I've forgotten, you've been an audience. I do have 2 books for sale. I'm doing a lockdown special. The first one's called Kaleidoscope. Attila the Stockbroker, who you might have heard of, reckons it's the best book of poetry he's ever read. He's only read his own, but, you know. And the second book of poetry is called Fault Lines, and he loves that too, and Alice Nutter has very lovely things to say about it. I'm doing a 2-for-1 offer. 2 books for a tenner with postage on top. It's 12 quid. Get in touch with me on Facebook. Laura Taylor, poet. Laura Taylor, poet, not poetess. Yeah, give us a shout, give us a like, get a book or 2. Yeah. Last poem. This is something I've noticed about racists. And if I just say, I'm not a racist, but I haven't got the guts to own my own discrimination. Islam's not a race. And I think I'm being clever, but I'll leather you in seconds for being a different colour to my own funny tone. I'm actually not white, more mottled pink and purple. A sort of meaty shade, but you're going to be in trouble if you say so, as a joke. I just don't have the guts to own my own beliefs. I get defensive, in denial of my xenophobic deeds, as if my ears cannot hear the sounds in my mouth, as if my fists cannot feel the nose broken brown. I'm not a coward, far from it. I'll punch and kick and kill, spill my animosity like beer upon the table, but there's no way I'm a racist, mate. Yeah, I like to lob bananas on the pictures that I paid for, make monkey sounds, throw pennies, but it's just for shits and giggles. Take it easy. It's a joke. Everyone's offended. And nowadays, if you say you're English, people laugh. Stuart fucking Lee. I wrap my sunburned back in an imperial rag, fail to recognise the deeply hypocritical stance of the empire. Going over there, taking their lives. I haven't got the bollocks to own my own bias. I'm all wind and piss plus a full English breakfast in an expat pub based in Benidorm. I don't bother with the lingo. Everyone speaks English. And I'm not a racist, but it really gets me goat when they speak in funny languages. So ignorant. And I think illegal immigrants get benefits and houses, and I don't even think about the meaning of illegal. When I'm foaming at the mouth and spewing bile about the trainers being Nike, how can they afford them? I never say Chinese when I order from the takeaway. Or Stanny, because it takes too long. 2 syllables, too many. Take it easy. It's a joke. Stop being so offended. And I'm not being funny, but I am. My best mate is black, blind, gay, dead, alive to try and justify my bigotry. And for fuck's sake, you can't say Happy Christmas anymore. Or blackboard, bar, black sheep, gollywog, or white lives matter. It's political correctness gone mad. I use exclamation marks more than the average man, and I demand free speech as a white human being. It's my right. God-given. Like I say, I'm not a racist, but I am a gutless hate machine. Reject until I'm apoplectic every single slur against my character. I just think we're superior, is all. white is might, blood and honour, string 'em up.
What do you mean? We come from Africa?
Not a racist, but... Cheers all, take care, stay safe, tra!